tonight was a good night. Our goal this weekend was to get into the deep stuff, get stuck, and bury our trucks in the deep powder snow. Well, it didn't take long for us to find it. We got a late start on Friday. It gets dark super early, but the snow was so good, we just had to keep going. Trust me, it did not disappoint.
Good morning, guys. We made it to camp really late last night. We were having just so much fun in this snow last night that we just kept driving, and we ended up not setting up camp till probably midnight or so. And it's currently about 25 degrees. We haven't got any fresh snow yet, but it's supposed to start snowing here, according to the weather, here pretty soon and start getting real nasty. So hopefully we can make it to the main part of the trail before others get here this morning. That's kind of the goal, is we are up here early so that we're the first ones up with the fresh snow, because otherwise it's a weekend. People might get up here and get up ahead of us into the trail, and we might get stuck up there, stuck behind people, stuck pulling people out. And that's part of the fun sometimes, but we want to get that deep fresh snow. One of the questions that we get asked the most when we do these type of trips is airing down your tires. What pressure am I running? What tire pressure should I run? So I'm just going to really quick go over my particular setup. So this is a 39 1350 17 on a 17 by 9 inch wide wheel. Now these wheels are the Kansai Roku wheels. They have a inner bead lip, similar but not the same as like the Method bead grips. So these, in theory, these tires would have a much harder time coming off of the bead than your standard rim. The tire pressure that you run on your vehicle, the weight of your vehicle, the load range of the tire is all gonna come into account when you're airing down your tire. So these little guys right here are a brass air down tool. I can thread this onto the valve stem and set the tire that I want it to air down to. So these are set to 12 psi. 12 psi is about where I run if we're just going to do forest roads and I just want to be comfortable and not feel every bump. I'll go down to about 12 psi. That's like my starting point of airing down, is 12 psi with non-bead locks. So if I'm going to be off-roading, doing trails or anything like that, I am typically at about 8 psi. And if you're going to be in the snow and the deep stuff, you really don't be afraid to air down, just period. So right now, I set these at 6 yesterday, and it honestly wasn't enough. So I'm going to go down to probably 4, and because we've gained a little bit of altitude, I'm guessing I'm probably a little bit higher than 6 psi in this tire right now. So we're going to air down to about 4 psi and see what that does for us. Yeah, so we are at about 7 psi. So we gained 1 psi of pressure just from altitude. So let's go down to 4. So the difference between 7 and 4 is really, honestly, going to make all the difference out here in the snow. It's going to be noticeably better, a lot more grip. Guys, just don't be afraid to air down to those single tire pressure. So I'm going to do the rest of these, and then we're going to get going on the trail.
Recall what time the winter storm is supposed to roll in? Yeah, it was about 10 o'clock, so should be hitting any time. Well, I feel like a cool breeze came through and we've got some light snow starting, so I guess from here forward we should be expecting 8 or 12 more inches on top of what's already here.
feel like it's actually starting to snow a little bit.
Yay, snow makes me happy. I'm watching the rear of your S10 and it's like you're just above the snow, it looks like to me.
Oh wow, I'm surprised I'm not dragging right now.
Dude, I wonder where that goes. To the right here? Hang on, Kelly.
Yeah, I saw something there. It looked interesting. Nate found this trail offshoot here to the right, so we decided to go check it out. Fortunate for me, I was the one to go check it out first.
That's deep.
It's pretty deep. It doesn't go anywhere.
Nope.
Unfortunately, it ended up not leading anywhere, so we decided to turn around and make our way back to the first trail that goes up to the highest elevation that we can find in this place.
Oh, wow. Nate Nate went off the road a little bit there. I know it's not, doesn't seem like it's funny, but to me it's funny. Totally safe. He's not going off a cliff or anything. He's just trying to get himself unstuck. He's going to work on that a little bit, and it looks like he's getting worse, so we might have to do a recovery here. I mean, all it really takes is like not paying attention for like half a second, and you can get off of the track and it'll throw you in the ditch and you're completely screwed. How's it looking up there, Nate?
It's tough. I just barely went off the track and it slid off the road.
That's what I just said. Yeah, it kind of looks like you're getting there, but just let us know if you need us to hook up to you and help you out.
Nate eventually successfully got himself out of his own situation without a recovery.
We want to avoid this hole right here. We did it, guys. We successfully did not fall into Nate's hole. So we're gonna keep going up this mountain, gain some elevation, and hopefully find some deep powder.
Now, one of the goals of today was to hit this big open play area, which is about 4,600 feet of elevation. We got there and had first dibs on the fresh powder. No one had touched any of the snow here. Lucky me, and I had an absolute blast.
There it is. Drill 10, baby. Oh, yeah. Them snow stickies, though. Look at that. Kelly. Look at that thing go. Snow stickies!
Fender.
Woo! Snow stickies. These snow stickies want to rip my fenders off though, pretty bad.
For sure. Well, we didn't make it very far past the little play area and the road stopped. So we decided we're just gonna set up for the night, and if people show up to party over there, we can just literally walk over there, film, have a good time. We got Aaron setting up his tent and all this stuff over here. I am actually going to not set my tent up for a little while because it's snowing so good right now, and it's just gonna pile on top of my tent before I even go to bed. So I'm gonna open it up closer to bedtime to lessen the amount of snow that's gonna accumulate on top of it. But I can show you what we got going on here. Here's our gazebo. This is the lifeline of what makes us able to camp out in the cold, is this gazebo right here. So Nate's got the steaks. Are they frozen?
One is. I turned the fridge down too much.
Oh, yeah. And the fact it's freezing out.
Yeah, so
doesn't help.
It'll thaw out super fast.
Yeah. So work on getting the propane fire pit going, chair, garbage, all that stuff. But yeah, this is about it. So unless something interesting happens tonight or between now and tomorrow morning, I'm not going to film much more, but I'll see you guys in the morning. We're getting ready to take off for the morning. I ended up sleeping in the passenger seat of the truck with my heated blanket and a sleeping bag because it had snowed almost about 2 feet, and it was still snowing when we decided to go to bed last night. And my soft shell tent, I don't have the insulation on the inside, and I'm just worried because while Nate and Aaron had their tent set up, they had collapsed, like fallen in on themselves. It didn't do any damage to them, but fallen in on themselves because of the weight of the snow. And I just honestly did not want to deal with zipping up things with cold fingers and cold material and cold zippers, because I've done it before and it just sucks. So I decided to just sleep in here, and I'm all packed up as of last night and still packed up, and they're still out in the snow getting all packed up. So did I make the right decision? I don't know. I guess maybe my back tomorrow will let me know if I made that right decision. It rained all last night and turned all the snow into slush. So on our way down the mountain, we're just gonna have to be a little bit more careful about sliding, keeping our distance between each other, and the conditions of the snow being slushy and wet and not being that nice fresh powder. We're gonna tend to slide around a little bit more. Once these guys are all packed up, we will head back down. Heading down the mountain was pretty uneventful. The sun started to peek out, so we had some pretty good views, so we had to stop and take a couple pictures, of course. And then as we got down towards the bottom, we started finding groups of people with stuck vehicles and groups that just needed a little bit of help getting unstuck. Nate ended up pulling out this Toyota real quick, not a big deal. We headed a little bit farther down and we ran into another group where a Jeep TJ had actually broken a ball joint. Fortunately, we had a good group of guys. We were able to get it figured out, make this ski to tow it down with, and Nate was able to tow him all the way down about 7 miles down the trail to where his trailer was. Okay guys, we made it back to the highway. I'm gonna start airing up the tires with my Morflate tire system. Nate got our guys with the broken ball joints and the Jeep back to the trailer, and we're airing up to get back on the highway. I would say this was a successful weekend. We saw the deep snow, got the S10 buried up over the bumper, which is what I wanted to do. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.